Don't forget, Dries van Thor, at one point we thought he might not be setting a flying lap at all, but he's got it up into 4th place, waiting for the start. Looks as though the nose of Raffaele's car is ahead. Those behind really pushing on. There may be a challenge from the car even from behind Niederhauser, making a dive up the inside. Certainly a huge gain for the car with the M on its nose. No, dearie me, Dries van Thor, your meeting is not going as well as it should. Into the gravel and back to almost the tail of the field. He's lost about 10 positions there.
I don't know how he got himself so out of position coming into turn 1. He was just so far off the line. There is the Lamborghini likewise plowing its way through the gravel, getting back on the racetrack. As a consequence, will end up running last.
Right, the car you need to look for is the one that moved from 5th up to 3rd. It's the white and blue Audi, and the best of the Audis, therefore, it's Christopher Mies. He's been racing these cars for years, and he absolutely showed. But for another Audi driver, for Dries van Thor, it has all gone horribly wrong, having scrabbled back, recovered from the mistake in qualifying, got up onto that second row, and now he might as well have started from about row number 6. So a story, there will be a chase back, because he and Charles Weerts are perfectly fast enough. They won the first race. He's picking off places all the time.
Fred Vervies is nibbling at the back of the McLaren as they go through the 180. You can see the bodywork at the back of the McLaren being deflected to Christian Klein. Another corner where he's been under attack. He was certainly attacked in yesterday's race, mildly, but nevertheless. So up into Chateau d'Eau for the first time.
It's Patrick Niederhauser. No, it's Christopher Mies, of course. He's got into the right position to move into 2nd place. This move, we've seen it several times, including Marciello yesterday, down through the Nürburgring sweeper. And Jim Pla was too wide, but he's run wide, and Patrick Niederhauser is trying to tuck himself up the inside. There was contact, there was what you call hip and shoulder, John, and it's cost him 2 positions. Will Klaus Bachler get into 4th? No way, Jim Pla is going, I got a little bit caught out there, but I was gentlemanly then. They weren't gentlemanly. Unfortunately, the 52 Ferrari has spun around, and that's Andrea Bertolini, who's been racing these cars since they were invented. But you must say the move from Nicolas Baer helped him on his way.
What's another spin? 20. What was that all about?
Well, Nicolas Baer, he'd already been in the wars, and he's now been in the gravel as well.
Second time in the gravel coming through Grand Curb.
And here comes, as predicted, back of that pack, going nowhere fast, frustrated, Dries van Thor.
There is the WRT team ready to go and do their work, and they do probably the best consistent pit stops throughout the entire field. So 40.1 was their time in driver change, 4 wheels and tires change, back out again. So they'll be looking to repeat that 40.1 or within a 10th or 2 of a second.
Right, here's another pit stop. It's also Team WRT, the masters of the craft. But for Fred Vervies, it's money for nothing. He's been doing this for years. But for Valentino Rossi, of course, changed from 2 wheels to 4. He has to still learn this process. And in a sprint race, you can't spare a second. Right, 33, hitting the deck, brought in beautifully from Christopher Mies, bam, onto terra firma. But I think it got very close indeed to one of the McLarens, and so it did. It was in the final pit garage, and that, look at it from head on. Oh, well done to the McLaren driver for avoiding that. But
that could be deemed an unsafe release, because the McLaren had to take avoiding action. But this little battle, the 2 Porsches pinching the Audi coming down the hill. So Giorgio Roda, and wow, is it going to be clean? It is clean. So Porsche runs wide. Can the Audi get alongside? Indeed it does before they go into this final. S is on to start, finish straight. So good bit of driving there to clear 2 cars in the space of, 2 corners.
But now let's ride on board the 93 and watch the overtaking manoeuvre. Pushing hard. And it's the Sky Tempesta Mercedes, Eddie Cheever right on the tail of the Mercedes in front. That's Pedro Uberescu, and he is out of the way, and place gained only from 18th to 17th.
Timing notes.
Time penalty, 10 seconds to car 33 for unsafe release, and 5-second time penalty to car 25 for causing a collision. Both time penalties will be added to the final racing time.
No surprise at that penalty being issued, because it was a very late release, and it did compromise the McLaren coming down the pit lane. So that's going to take Seminar out of the podium position. Yellow flag in the background, but can't see what that's for.
Okay, while we're just looking for that Aurelian
there it is.
Oh, it's Uberescu, who's, well, we've seen cars go off at Grand Corps and rejoin at Estoril. That's been the case for him. That will drop him from 16th further down the order. Bogoslawski, exactly as he did at Brands Hatch, took over in the lead of the race and has continued to the checkered flag, which he can't see yet, but he can see now out of the final corner. Right and left, another win. That's 2 wins this year. Last year, the story for ACA ASP, as they were then, was promised but not the results. This year, they've already got 2 Sprint Cup wins from the 4 races so far.
So the Ferrari has held off Charles Weerts as they come through those final 2 corners, and a difficult day for the 32 RD. They will be feeling we could have done a lot better. We could have had a lot more points had that first corner incident with Dries van Thor not occurred.
And on the adjusted times, the final order, you will see that Jim Pla has been moved up to second place. He was third on the track, but victory by 13.6 seconds went to Raffaele Marcello and to Timo Bogoslawski, who drove really well to bring it home. Jim Pla and Maxi Goetz, they started on second on the grid. They've ended up with driver penalties for Jean-Baptiste Simonin and Christopher Mies, dropping them from second on the track to fourth. And Aurélien Panis and Patrick Niederhauser also penalised, but not by as much. So they rose from fourth on track to third. Then Pierre-Alexandre Jean winning the Silver Cup class with Ulysses de Pauw, who kicked it off in the 53 Ferrari from AF Corsa. And for Charles Weerts and Dries van Thor, who were leading the combined championship and the Sprint Cup, have had a little bit of a championship setback, but still they got points for sixth place. Recodis ASP team, a French outfit headed by former racer Jérôme Policon. This will be a very proud day indeed. First and second on French turf, on home soil.